what is it for you in 2020 that you think should be our dreams of equality?
I'll start. I mean, I'm obviously very electorally focused at the moment. So I think we know who our nominees are on both sides, and we know that on the Democratic side, Joe Biden is committed to selecting a female vice president. But I actually, one of the folks writing in the chat box talked about this. But in terms of elections this year, I would love to see both candidates and whoever is the winner, but commit to actually not just having, a woman in the number 2 spot or what have you, but actually having cabinets and leadership that looks like America. So I would like to see, obviously elections will determine who is in the House and the Senate, but in terms of all the appointed positions, not just at the presidential level, but all over the country and, cabinets across the country. I think it's really important to start, those are appointed positions. People look at them. I think it's really important that they also reflect the diversity of this country. Sorry, I'm going to stop talking because my dog is crawling on my door. This happens a lot with technology. Deja, how about you?
Yeah, I can go ahead next. I think things look very now than they did 10 years ago, 20 years ago, but I feel like things look very different in terms of planning for 2020 now than they did when 2020 started. We are looking at a really unprecedented shift in terms of how we do our work as activists, as politicians. Everyone, literally every sector is changing, pivoting, trying to figure out new ways to do what we've been doing and to keep on. And I think as I look at my organization and what we're doing going forward, we're thinking a lot about this time where especially a lot of young women, the women who will go on to run for president, who will go on to run for Congress down the road, a lot of them are at home right now and they're on their phones and they're online and they're on social media. And so as someone who comes from an activist background, from an organizer background, I'm really interested in how we can meet these young people where they're at, how we can meet people in general where they're at. There are more people on Facebook and on Instagram and TikTok right now than before. There's more people online with us now. And so I'm really interested in thinking about how we can create a digital space that meets people where they're at, and also create a digital space, because when you think about it, something like Instagram, right, with 1 billion users is sort of like a country. They're writing guidelines, they're censoring things, they're promoting things. And so how are we creating a digital landscape, this world that we're all walking into, opting to being a part of, that doesn't replicate the same inequalities and injustices that we see in our real world, but take them on head on, and work on the policy end on that as well, and on the community creation end, and as content creators and influencers and consumers. And so one thing I'm thinking a lot about in 2020 is just how we create and change that digital landscape to sort of level the playing field and create a future for ourselves that we want to be a part of.
I'm going to take it on a different level, and it's a personal level, because it's something that I've always been a feminist. My mother was a feminist. My grandmother was a feminist. My daughter's a feminist. But I have a grandson, and we started hearing some things that my daughter and I heard some things that we thought needed some changes in his attitude. He's 7 years old, and he was saying, if he said that girls couldn't, play sports as well as he. And so she put him on a co-ed team. So, and you can't do that now because and he saw that some of the girls were as good as him, some were better. I won't say better, he's probably listening, as good as him. He, there were things that we're reading him stories with strong female characters. So it's really important to go back to the young kids and to try to keep and to change their attitudes and to get them to relate to each other on a more equal basis, and not accept and not accept a lot of the things that are happening. Happening that have happened. I mean, but to really make sure that their attitudes are that they're taught and that they feel and that boys respect girls as much as girls respect themselves.
I think he got it, Cynthia. He said that no, they are better than him. He conceded to that.
No, he's a really good athlete. He's really, really good. So, but he's so you have to go far to be better than him. But he does know that he there was no acceptance of that. But it is strong. It is important to have strong female characters in films, and in books, and in anything that little kids see, and even in the artwork that the artists they take them. They show the museum art, and it's all male, and we show him female. So, but we're one family, and but attitudes have to change in schools. They have to change in religious institutions. They have to change in where the kids are, everything where the kids are exposed to.